Hello. Recording in progress. Let's see if the recording is in progress, but if we are in progress, let's see that. Very different things. The recording is going on, but let's see that we are going on. Okay, so we have been meditating, 4 months in the different kind of, it's very good because actually we're going to be able to finish the entire, I hope, kind of like meditations, because actually the meditations we will go until the 8th of October. Okay, so Wednesday the 8th is the last meditation, because then on the 9th I already leave to India and Nepal, so not possible. So it's the last day, it's the last moment. So we're going to try to meditate on all the different kind of meditations on the path towards our, enlightenment, as we say, our wish to really achieve that state of no suffering and that state of perfection of our good qualities. So what we are doing in the last few weeks has been to really meditate on expanding our hearts, really making our good qualities unconditional and unlimited. So on Monday, we meditated on love, on our innermost wish for ourselves and others to be happy and to find, especially the two types of happiness that we said. We call temporary pleasures. One of these, just having nice burrito, having nice house, nice place, everything that we enjoy with our sensory pleasures. But also the type of happiness that we can get by studying the Dharma, right? That mind that is free from our negative emotions, that is free from our negative habits, that is free from any confusion. That is the type of happiness that we really want to achieve when we are talking about love and happiness in the context of the Buddhist path. But now we also going to meditate today that as long as we are kind of, just wanting to be happy and achieve these things, we also want to be free from any type of suffering. And that is the definition of compassion. Ourselves, wanting ourselves and others to be free from suffering. So that's what we're going to meditate today on, what we call compassion for all beings, to be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. And especially that idea of, being free from those negative mental states, that constant dissatisfaction that we carry with us, right? So that's what we want to really get rid of, be free from. So that's what we are going to try. And then once we develop that wish for ourselves, we start to really expand it, in an unconditional and an unlimited way towards all beings. Not that we don't choose. We don't say this person, yes, all beings. That's why we started this meditation series on equanimity as well, right? Well, at least the last few weeks we meditated on equanimity. Everybody wants to be the same in wanting to be free from suffering and to not, to find happiness. So that is the basis for our meditation on love and compassion. So let's do that today, okay? Let's meditate on compassion. So let's start. Let's try to find our posture. By now we are getting used to a posture that works for us. Because even though we don't meditate with our bodies, we do meditation with our minds, but the body can either become a support or can become an obstacle. Because we can be distracted by pain, by sensations. So we want to create a stable posture that will allow us to completely forget about the body and really focus on the mind. So we just check the way we're sitting, either on a chair or on the cushion. Crossing our legs if we are on the cushion. Placing our feet firm one side by side on the ground while we are sitting on a chair. And then we check our spine as straight as possible, but without forcing it. Arms and hands, right hand on top of the left, um, and our fingers slightly touching, thumbs slightly touching. Shoulders relaxed. And then our neck and our head also relaxed, as if we were looking for something like maybe um, a few inches, maybe 1.5 feet in front of us. The tongue touches the upper palate or the back of the upper teeth, so we don't get distracted with saliva. And eyes slightly open if we are tired and sleepy, or we can completely close it. Now that we stabilize the posture, we make sure that is going to help us and support us throughout this meditation. So we start bringing the attention back to our inner world, our sensations, our thoughts, emotions, checking in how we are doing right here and right now. Not how we wake up, how we woke up, how we were feeling yesterday, but now. And especially we try to bring awareness or consciousness to our intention, to our motivation for being here. Checking that if we don't pay attention or direct our intention, we're going to end up finding again simple pleasures, temporary ones, and still creating dissatisfaction and suffering for ourselves. So by understanding that our negative emotions, our negative habits, and our confusion are the causes for our dissatisfaction, for our sufferings, we will meditate on developing a strong wish to be free from them and expand that wish so we can help others to find the same freedom. So to accomplish, we start by to accomplish this wish, this intention, we start bringing our attention to our breath. to the subtle sensations that the air leaves every time that we breathe in and out through our nostrils. Every inhale and exhale, we just observe the flow of air at the entrance of the nostrils. We don't check and observe the air coming inside of our bodies, into our lungs or anything like that. We just stay with the sensation there at the entrance. We also don't change, modify, improve the way we breathe. We observe it without having to do anything else, being free from changing, improving, getting it better or whatever. And clearly we're going to see that our minds get distracted by thoughts, mental images, emotions, feelings, sensations, memories, worries. We notice our distraction, but remembering our intention, we simply let them go and we bring the attention to the breath again and again. And now that we were able to focus and concentrate our minds a bit better, we try to use that concentration in order to analyze our innermost wish to be free from our dissatisfaction, our sufferings, and the causes of it. And we try to expand that wish towards others as well. So we can start by bringing to our minds a time recently when we were filled with fear or anger, frustration. Try to remember how it felt. Maybe you're so afraid that you froze, you couldn't think clearly. Maybe your mind was so angry, so frustrated that you got irritated. You became mean towards yourself and maybe others. Just think about how it felt extremely confusing, and there was so much suffering actually in yourself when you were under the influence of these mental states of fear, of anger. Try to see as well how if you felt like this when you meet with someone, when you see someone that is in fear, that is angry, frustrated, how they are also in this suffering mental state. Try to recognize that because you know how it feels and it doesn't feel good, so you can see how it doesn't feel good for the other person as well. So just try to really open your heart and think that others are experiencing that right now. And try to develop that wish for them to be free from these mental states. Wishing them to be free from that suffering. You can start with people that you know, friends, family, and go increasing towards people you don't know. And even those that you have difficulties with, that you got angry at. because you know how it feels horrible to be fearful, angry, frustrated. You expand your wish to be free from those mental states towards others as well, so they can also be free from that. And now think about a moment recently when you could see that you have a habit of reacting in a certain way. That out of habit you just exploded or became, attached to something, you just didn't think about someone else, went completely selfish and worried about yourself only, out of this habit, without even thinking. And try to check how being in that mental state didn't feel good. It felt lonely, isolated, and actually brought more dissatisfaction than the opposite of what you wanted. And the same way that we don't want to experience that, and we start to realize that those habits, those patterns, they don't actually help us. They don't bring us what we want. So we develop that wish for us to be free from that, to stop those habits, to change, transform them into more positive ones. And now we can expand that and think about others that we know, starting from friends, family, that are just also following into those habits and creating dissatisfaction, suffering, isolation for themselves. So think about their suffering, which is exactly the same as yours when you are in these mental states. And you really try to develop that wish that they be free from that they can be free from that suffering, those habits, patterns. And we try to expand that for all our colleagues, people that we don't even know, and even those that we have difficulties with. So the more we familiarize ourselves with the sufferings and the causes of sufferings that we have, and the more we develop that wish to be free from them, the more we can open our hearts towards others, because we know how it feels. So we try to come to the conclusion that we're going to use everything that we have in our daily lives to first realize the sufferings and the causes of sufferings that we have in our own experiences. Develop the wish to be free from them. So when we see others suffering, instead of reacting, we actually transforming pure compassion towards them. So we dedicate that we are able to do that more and more. And when we feel ready, we can move our bodies, open our eyes. These meditation really can be very powerful, and the more we do it, the more we recognize. So that's why I keep saying that the most important thing is to recognize our own sufferings and recognize how these mental states really create the causes for our suffering and wanting to get free from them. And once we do it with ourselves, we expand that for others. Really, really, really. So then our daily lives become purpose. There is a purpose in our lives. We can actually use everything that we experience, every moment. If we are in the hospital, if we are with family, if you have a problem in the eye, if you have a problem in the Buddhist center, everything can become a possibility. Okay? To expand our hearts and use that. So I hope this is anyway beneficial, and I see you tomorrow evening. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.